Hey everybody, Tom Barnes Stories from the 78. Happy St. Patrick's Day weekend. It's one of the best weekends here in Chicago. You got two parades on both sides of the city, the Northwest Side Parade, South Side Irish Parade. Of course, you got the downtown parade. It's more for tourists, but either way, then they have the beautiful dyeing of the river and all sorts of things. And in the West Loop at the Guinness Open Gate Brewery in Chicago, they have a whole slew of things. I have my friend Ryan here to tell me all about it. Ryan, man, how you doing?
Doing well. Yeah, we're keeping our heads above water, which is always nice. Yeah, it's always a bit of a crazy time of year, but there's no better time to work for Guinness than the month of March.
I started a little early. I was at a bar yesterday, had myself a couple Guinnesses in my local neighborhood pub. But you are at the Guinness Open Gate Brewery here in Chicago, which is like, I feel like it's a crown jewel of not only for Guinness, but in Chicago, just because it's so unique. And you guys got a lot going on this weekend to celebrate St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, that means a lot to us. Yeah, we're incredibly proud of the work that we've done here in Chicago. And it's not just about the brewery. I think the brewery being here has reminded people a little bit of the magic of Guinness. And so we've seen crazy sales all over the place. I mean, Chicago has some of the best bars in the United States, no doubt about it. And to see Guinness doing as well as it is here in Chicago means a lot to us. But yeah, this weekend's going to be a blast. You know, St. Patrick's Day is huge when you work for Guinness, and nobody does St. Patrick's Day quite like the city of Chicago. So to be located in the West Loop, to be able to invite so many people to come down and join us, not just for a pint of Guinness Draft Stout. Of course, we're going to have the best pints in the city. No offense to my friends at many bars around Chicago. We think we got the best one. But we also have a ton of beer that our brewers, Megan and Nate, made just for the holiday. So yeah, this weekend's going to be big. Friday night, we have a session from 4 p.m. until we close. Saturday, the big day with the river dyeing. We've got two sessions, one from 8 a.m. until 3 p.m. And then the evening session from 3 p.m. To close is sold out. That one's sold out. But Sunday from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., we still have a few tickets left. And then the big day on Monday, St. Patrick's Day itself, no tickets required. We're just going to make this thing a nice casual hang. Great beer, great food, live music. Pretty traditional when it comes to St. Patrick's Day, but we have the added bonus of doing it at the home of Guinness here in Chicago.
Yeah, and when you say sessions, what do you exactly are the sessions entailing? You know, like going on starting tonight, Friday, and through the weekend here.
Yeah, so we got to control crowds, man. It's gonna be crazy,
Chicago,
especially when we
right?
saw. Look, when we saw it was going to be 70 degrees today on Friday, when we saw it was going to be sunny and 60s tomorrow, we knew we had a job to do in controlling crowds. So the ticket is our way of just making sure we know how many people are going to be in this building. We can guarantee a really high-end experience. But your ticket, and you can find them on GuinnessBreweryChicago.com. All the links that you need are on the website there. The ticket gets you access to the brewery. There's two different levels. There's one that guarantees a seated table experience, and then one that's just general admission. We'll have some extra tables for walk-ups. We'll start a wait list and things like that. But you'll have access to the full food menu, to the full beer menu. We're going to do giveaways as long as those last. We've got some cool hats and scarves to give away to folks. Hats and scarves sounded like a good idea before it was going to be 70 degrees.
We'll give it 5 minutes.
Yeah, live music, DJs, and just an incredibly, connected, immersive Guinness experience. That's what we're looking for.
And some of the food you were talking about, I'm reading here, you got bangers and mash, potato soup, fish and chips. Of course, you have the corned beef, right? You have all those fun things at the brewery. For folks that have never actually been to the brewery just yet, what is it about that place that makes it so unique here in Chicago? Not only Chicago, but kind of like the Midwest. There's only a few of them scattered throughout the country, right?
Yeah, there's only two, Baltimore, Maryland, and here in Chicago. I think what makes us unique is that, well, a few things. This is a 1907 era railroad depot where I'm sitting right now. This was an opportunity to take a building that was in need of a little bit of love, is certainly a historic part of this part of town in the West Loop. But to be able to reinvigorate it the way that we did, if you look over my shoulder, we've redecorated even our space inside the barrel room, as we call it in here, to showcase some of our old advertising and historic images from St. James's Gate. There are elements to Guinness that are such a critical part of who we are. Our heritage, our culture, and to bring those things really to vibrant, beautiful life inside a building like this in Chicago, man, there's nothing quite like it. You know, there are a lot of breweries out there that have a long history, especially here in Chicago. I don't know that anybody's quite got 266 years. That's what we're celebrating this year. So to be able to bring that to life and to do it in a space that is still very modern. We've updated it in a way that makes it incredibly friendly for all guests of all shapes and sizes. So we want people to have a wonderful time, always drinking responsibly, of course. But this is an incredible space to learn a little something about Guinness, to really put yourself in that mindset, that beautiful St. Patrick's Day, everything's green, everything is fun. That's what we try to bring to life here every day. And if you've never been to the brewery, there's no better time to experience it than right now.
Yeah, and you hit the nail right on the head as far as like blending the old with the new. That neighborhood was so much different 30 years ago. People didn't go in that neighborhood, and now it is it's vibrant as ever. And I think it really shows off the true essence of what it is to be a Chicagoan. You know, we got a little old, a little new, a little tradition. And all the things. Before I let you go, last question about a proper pour for Guinness. I know there's a way. A lot of people don't know. Like you don't just get it right away. Like at the pub yesterday, the woman, you ask for the beer, and it takes a hot second to get it, just because they got to pour it properly. Like there's a proper way to pour a Guinness, right?
Oh, there is, absolutely. So a pint of Guinness Draft Stout is poured in two parts. And that's a historic part of our story, right? I mean, that goes back to the early 1800s, when we would send every bar that ordered our beer 2 barrels of beer. One was bright and fresh and lively, and it'd come right from the brewing tanks. And the second was aged. It had been stored in wooden vats for 12 or 18 months. And the job of the bartender was to take those 2 barrels of beer and combine them together to make that one iconic beer. When we introduced Guinness Draft Stout, believe it or not, it didn't happen for the first 200 years we were a brewery. So we were founded in 1759. Guinness Draft Stout hits the market in 1959. And all of a sudden, Guinness has a decision to make. The beer is in one keg now. So do we change what we have done for 200 years, or do we still tell bartenders that there's a unique way to pour our beer? So that 2-part pour, allowing the head to really build in a very special way, allowing the nitrogen inside of that liquid to do its magic. There's 300 million bubbles in every pint of Guinness Draft Stout. You got to give them a little bit of time to do the work. But waiting for that 2-part pour, when a bar and the bartenders take that seriously, man, there's nothing else like it. So yeah, you got to wait a little bit, but that anticipation, that's part of the magic.
So Ma O'Brien down at the street hit it right on the head and doing it right, because I saw it sitting there underneath the taps there, filling it up. And she walked by. She's like, "I'm just letting it breathe, darling."
Oh, yeah.
So
there's a specific number. It's 119.5 seconds for the perfect settle. So if you ever start your stopwatch, keep an eye on it.
So on the Northwest side, they're doing it correctly, but the action is all over the city, but a lot of fun in the West Loop. Ryan, thanks so much for joining me, and happy St. Patrick's Day weekend.
To you as well.